Hi, welcome to our daily encounter. Yesterday we saw Elihu begin to speak. This was a young guy who had kind of been sitting back listening to what Job and his three friends had to say, and he didn't really feel it was his place to speak up. But after Job ceased to speak and his three friends ceased to speak, Elihu took advantage of the situation and he began to speak. And he was very, very angry with Job and his three friends. And he really begins to speak about Job's situation. Now, as you read what Elihu had to say, some of it sounds very much like what Job's three friends had to say. However, as you get to chapter 36 and 37, we see Elihu begin to speak on a higher level. As a matter of fact, his speaking closely resembles God's speaking when we get into chapter 38 and the next few chapters. And so we see that Elihu becomes much more closer to explaining Job's situation than the three friends. And it's interesting how it is that he does it. He does it really by looking at things from God's perspective and looking at God in his true light and recognizing the fact that God is sovereign, God is all-knowing, God is all-powerful, and that it's not up to mankind to question God's motives. And this is a thought that will carry through in God speaking to Job. And Job needed to realize his place before God, and that really he needed to follow what is spoken about in Psalms 46 and verse 10, where it says, "Be still and know that I am God." Or the New American Standard says, "Cease striving and know that I am God." And that's something that we have to learn in our sufferings. You know, whenever we're suffering and even when tragedy comes, one of the things that we want, perhaps more than anything else, is an answer. Why did this happen? Why did God allow this to occur? And that seems to be what we are striving after. But sometimes, if not all the time, we need to understand this concept of just stop striving with God, stop always seeking for answers, and just be still, be silent, rest, trust in the Lord, trust that He is sovereign, all-powerful, all-knowing, all-present, and that He is in control of the situation. And that even though things are happening in our lives that we don't understand, that we can place our burdens, our anxieties, and our cares upon Him, knowing that He cares for us, and knowing that He will never leave us nor forsake us. He is always there with us no matter what we're going through. And so we have to recognize this fact. And Job needed to recognize this fact. And it really won't be until God speaks to him that it finally gets through to Job. But we need to already understand this concept, whether we're going through a tragedy now or in preparing for future tragedies or hardships that we might endure. It's good to have this type of disposition, this type of perspective at all times. God, you are God, therefore I will let you be God, and I will submit myself to you. I will recognize the fact that your thoughts are higher than my thoughts, and your ways are higher than my ways. And I just have to live day by day, moment by moment, in absolute trust to you. This should be our attitude at all times, especially when we enter into hardships. So as we read today's reading, think about Elihu and think about especially chapter 36 and 37, what he has to say about God. I think it's some really good stuff, and we're going to see this coming out again in future readings. Well, thank you guys for listening in today. I love you guys. Hope you guys have a great day. God bless.